Guys, so I've been gone. I was having a major reading slump. Who would have guessed? Honestly, if you see this light flickering, this light is pissing me off. The light bulb won't die, so this is what we're working with, okay? I've been trying to film in between the light flickering. It's not happening, so we're just gonna try and coexist, okay? It's pissing me off more than it's pissing you guys off, I promise. Anyways, today I thought, let me come back with a bang. And I thought the most reasonable thing to do is my first ever 24-hour reading challenge. Now, there is a caveat. I am not doing 24 hours straight because I know I would give up. So, I am doing 12 straight hours today and 12 straight hours tomorrow. Okay, it is almost 9 o'clock. I'm going to be starting at 9, going till 9 p.m. tonight. And the theme is going to be spooky. This is going to be a spooky 24-hour reading vlog challenge. On the roster for today, I have 2 books on my Kindle so far. I'm going to get those out of the way before I forget the names. I have Room for Rent. I think that's what it's called. And then I have Maeve Fly. Cannot remember the author's names at all, so, but I should have put them on the screen, so you saw that. I didn't, you did. Then, off my Kindle, physically, I'm going to be reading. First, I'm going to be rereading What Feasts at Night by T. Kingfisher. One of my favorite horror books of all time. This second time, it's going to be annotated, because I did read What Moves the Dead already and annotate it the second time around, so that's what I'm going to do for this one. Then, the star of the show today, What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher. This is the 3rd book in the series. It just came out maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure at this point, 2-3 weeks. It's so exciting. And this is set in the most perfect setting. It's like cave systems in Virginia. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I love T. Kingfisher's books that are based in America, because she does it like a Southern America thing. She's really good at that characteristic. My little Galatian is going to be going to Virginia, so we get to see how that goes. So, very excited for this. The next book is another horror, The Violence by Delilah S. Dawson. I have had this for so long. Super excited for. The only thing that's been putting me off of reading it is I think it follows in multiple point of views, which I'm just not sure how I feel about when it comes to horror. Well, I'm much more picky and critical when it comes to horror and thriller books as I am than like fantasy books, because usually, I don't know, I feel like there's more margin for cringe in a horror or a thriller book for me personally. So, this could be an interesting video. What if I just hate one of these books? I do also have one book coming in from Amazon today. I think it's like Gallows Hill or something. It was like $7 on Amazon, so I got it. It's coming today. I'm excited. So yeah, that will be the horror thrillers. So that's 4 kind of regular to small books, and then 2 novellas. Since I'm a very fast reader, I'm genuinely just not sure how much I'm gonna read. I've never done one of these before, so I could be expecting a lot more of myself than I'll actually be able to do. But just in case I finish all of those, I do have 2 romantasy books. I know. I'm in a romantasy mood as always. So if I finish all my spooky books, then I have these 2 romantasy books to choose from. So, first is Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I don't know why I forgot the name of that. Swordcatcher. This is like my most floppy book ever. Are you joking? What the hell is that? I said that in a positive way. Positive. What the hell is that? Anyways, this will be my first Cassandra Clare book. I never got into her other series, but I'm pretty sure it's all young adult. Anyways, so I'm past the time where I could have read those books. In my opinion, I'm not going to be picking them up. And then my last alternate for today is going to be The Second Death of Locke, which I keep on thinking in my brain that it's the, what's it, Lies of Locke Lamora book. It's not that. It's clearly not. This is the Illumicrate version. Absolutely gorgeous. Are you joking? Are you joking? I think it's a female knight. Female knight romantasy. I'm sat. So, that is my second alternate. I don't know if I hope that I get to them or if I hope that I don't get to them. It would be cool to keep this as just a spooky vlog, but it's always just good to get more books off my TBR. So, we'll see. We'll see. This is my first time experimenting, so I guess I'm just gonna get started then. It's basically 9 o'clock. Just gonna go get my water bottle filled and we're gonna get started. I think I'm gonna start with The Violence by Delilah S. Dawson. I don't want to start with T. Kingfisher right now because I'm too excited. I need to hold it off for a little bit later. So I will update you guys when I'm probably somewhere around halfway through The Violence. Not sure. But I'll see you then. Okay, you guys, I am halfway through The Violence by Delilah S. Dawson, and I'm having mixed feelings, to say the least. I like the premise of like the problem. I like the problem. It's interesting, it's fun. But if you don't want to read about the pandemic, might not want to read this one. I am not the biggest fan about that part. I particularly didn't have any like actual PTSD from the pandemic. I just am personally so sick of it, so I don't want to think about it. But here we are. This takes place in a world after the COVID pandemic. So that was a thing. And then now there's this fictional pandemic called The Violence. At about halfway through, I kind of feel like it needs to be done. It's like this book, let me see. Yeah, so the last page is 488, and then the next part is the epilogue that's a couple pages long. So just about 500 pages is too much. It's too much for a horror book. It's going pretty quickly. I have been doing a lot of it on audio so I can, make breakfast and stuff. So that makes it go even slower because I read a lot faster than audiobook, even like the 2.0 speed audiobook. I read faster than that. So it's been a mixture of both, but I think where we stand now in the book it's going to be a 3-star. Personally, I think it could have been a 4-star, but I feel like it could have been a 4-star if the book had been more condensed. I feel like it would be more impactful if it was more condensed, because this is also, a tale about abuse from men towards women. So, I don't know. I feel like this could have been a good 350 pages. I feel like 500 is too much. So, but I am glad that I read this one. Well, I'm reading this one first because this is the biggest book for the video. So, I'm getting the biggest book out of the way early on. And then I think the biggest, maybe it's 400, but I think most of the books, I have like a 350 page, 260 page, and then I have 2 novellas, so pretty average, quick fire books. So after this, I think smooth sailing. But I'll update you guys when I'm done. Thinking 3 stars, but maybe something will surprise me. Bring it up to a 3.5, maybe even a 4. But I don't think so. I think this will be a firm 3-star for me. Okay, you guys, it is like 1:30. I have finished the first book. I'm kind of exhausted because this book took so long, but we made it through. I was correct in my assumption that this was going to be a 3-star book. The middle just went too slowly for me, personally. The end did almost make up for it, though, because the end was very fast-paced. I giggled a few times. It was pretty fun, but still just 3 stars, honestly. So that took me about 4.5 hours. Not as fast as I wanted it to happen, but we'll live. So, first book is done. You didn't see that. First book is done. I would have hoped that my Amazon package would be here by now. It is currently out for delivery, so I don't have that book at the moment. So I'm gonna have to start on What Feasts at Night if in the next 10 minutes it's not here. So, a little bit of a break for myself, grab something for lunch, and then we'll get started on a new book. I'll let you know. I'm guessing it's going to be What Feasts at Night, because I don't think the Amazon gods are, good to me. I don't think the book's going to show up here when I want it to. So, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I went upstairs to get a snack, and my package arrived. So I got The Bridge Kingdom, which I'm not obviously reading right now. Not a spooky book, but very excited for that. I wanted to read it for a hot minute. And then Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates. Let's see how long this is. Okay, perfect. It's like 380 pages. So this will be the book I am picking up next. I'm just glad that I can do this because this was planned. This is like what I had hoped for. I did not want to read What Feasts at Night this soon, so I'm going to eat my Chobani Flip, see if this is on audiobook. If it is, then I'll start it there. If not, I'm just gonna watch a small YouTube video while I eat this very fast, and then I'll get started. of a unconventional filming location, but I am up to about a third of the way, a little more than a third. This is kind of freaky. This is kind of freaky. I just read, well, I've been doing it on audio in my car. I'm not reading while I was driving my car. I had to go get myself some Sonic because I'm losing steam. But listening to chapter 15, freaky, okay? This book, Haunted House, we're talking about effigies, this witchy woman. The last sentence that I genuinely had to pause the audiobook because I was like, I can't right now, I need to process that. The wires were connected to the fence. The bells were an alarm system. An alarm system for what? An alarm system for what? I was a little concerned because like 50 pages in, we were already getting really spooky stuff. Like, stuff was going down. I was like, I still have like 300 more pages. What could possibly be going on? But things are still going on. I think we're sitting at about a 3.5, maybe a 4-star. I do already, there's a lot of foreshadowing that is more like basically just telling you what exactly what's gonna happen. So I have a bunch of predictions that I'm pretty certain are gonna happen, but as always, I hope there is a twist that I wouldn't have expected. I don't know. And I don't know if I've said it before, but I don't go out of my way to try and predict things. A lot of the times I'll just read a sentence and then be like, oh, okay, so that's gonna come back. We're gonna get the full answer for that. I can make my assumptions, which are likely correct, but it will be still fun to see exactly how it turns out. So, I hope this audio was not terrible. My car is still on, so you might be hearing the engine a little bit. I'm going to continue listening to this on audio for a little bit because my headphones did die. So I'm going to listen to the audio in my car while I eat my little appetizers. Then I'm going to go back inside and get the rest of this done. Anyways, I'm going to get back to reading because that's the point of this video. Okay, very poor lighting, but I have finished Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates, and it is about 7:20 right now, so I have a little under 2 hours, like a little bit over an hour and a half left. So, for today, obviously, for today. We're still doing this tomorrow, but anyways, I have finished this book, and what if I told you this was a 5-star for me? What if I told you it was a 5-star for me? Who was expecting this? Not me. Not me. I was not expecting me to feel this way, but I did. Not only was this book genuinely scary as hell, like the whole time, I was freaking. This was scary. I usually don't get scared like this, but it's because the situation that they're in, there was no escaping it. Like, you couldn't lock yourself away, you couldn't like hide, you couldn't run. Like, you were stuck, which was very scary because like in most ways for like horror, there's ways to escape. There's ways to hide. Like the video game Until Dawn. You just have to be very still, out of sight, and wait until dawn. But this was a lot more complicated than that, which made it a lot more scary. But then at the ending, I was taken aback emotionally. I was having some feelings in my chest, which you don't really expect from like a suspense horror book. I genuinely was like, I was being compelled. My emotions. Like, I wanted to tear up. I almost teared up. I didn't. But I was like, man, this hit hard. This hit hard. Um, Definitely not something I would recommend to someone who lives alone. Don't read this while you're alone. Not something I would suggest. But I'm very glad that I picked this book up. It was definitely worth it. 2 books finished for today. I have an hour and a half left. I was thinking about starting a book and then I would just continue it in the morning. But I think what I'm actually going to do. I think what I'm going to do is read What Feasts at Night because it is something that I'm like a little more cozy. I feel like maybe it'll make me feel better before going to sleep. Um and also I will be able to finish this in an hour and a half. So then I will go to bed with things being complete and then in the morning I will start the brand new book. What Stalks the Deep. Why I'm so tired, you guys. I'm so tired. I'm losing my train of thought. But tomorrow I will start bright and early with giving you just a quick wrap up since I've already read this book. I think I already rated this. It was either 4 or 5 stars. I'm not sure. It's a favorite book of mine. All T. Kingfisher. I always recommend. So I'll just give you a quick wrap up in the morning of my thoughts, and then I'll get started on What Stalks the Deep. And hopefully my energy will be at its highest for me reading this new release that I've anticipated for a long time. I'm going to read this, go to bed, and I'll see you in the morning. Okay, you guys, I have tried. I gave myself a break. I can't get myself to read What Feasts at Night. I am so exhausted. I just can't do it without wanting to die. So I think I'm going to be nice to myself and not force myself to read this, because I do fear that will bring me back into a reading slump, which I was just in. So I'm not reading this book. I'm going to relax for the rest of the night, and then tomorrow when I wake up I will start What Stalks the Deep. I'm just gonna read this another time. I'm gonna read and annotate this another time when I really want to. I thought I wanted to, but I fear I can't. I fear I can't. So I will update you in the morning, probably when I'm probably when I'm done with What Stalks the Deep, because it's under 200 pages. So I'll see you then. Okay, you guys, now if I told you that I read and finished 2 books without updating you guys, are you gonna be mad at me? Because it happened. Firstly, I finished read and finished Woodstock So Deep. Amazing. 5 stars. I loved it. As always, there's something so cozy about a T. Kingfisher horror to me. Even in her ones, she's done like 1/2 that like actually kind of freaked me out. But like, especially this series in general, it's so cozy. I love these characters. I love the story, especially this one. I love Fragment. I love Fragment. If you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. It's supposed to be like the scary element, but I love him. I love him. Just like in the Gallows Hill book, I loved the effigy, even though it was like supposed to be spooky scary, like towards the beginning and towards the end. I loved it. There's something about it. They very darling. So darling, so cute. Um, but yeah, the doctor pissed me off in this book, so that was annoying, but it resolved. There was also gay, so overall, rated this one 5 stars. So better than the second book to me. On par, if not like a teensy bit worse than the first book, because the first book is just so special to me. So, um, yeah, 5 stars for this one. And then I swiftly got to reading Room for Rent by someone who I can't think of the name of right now. It was okay. It was okay. Um, Unfortunately, it was a thriller. I'll just say that it was a thriller, not a horror. So that was really the downside, because instead of being spooky scary in a ghostly way or like a creature way, it was spooky scary in a human man way. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like men. So stories where men are being horrific and disgusting human beings, hey, not my favorite thing ever. Safe to say, not my favorite thing. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good story. I thought the pacing was pretty good. It was about 350 pages. So, kind of, the length was good for what the story was. If it was any longer, it would be annoying. If it was any shorter, I would feel like we missed out on some things. So, I really do think that she got the timing and sort of just the format of the book she really had down. Um, at the end, because I read it on Kindle. Obviously, I don't have it to hold here, but at the end of the Kindle book, it said that it was her 4th thriller. So, I can tell it really does just follow the kind of strict guidelines of a your average thriller, but I'm not the biggest thriller fan. I'm really not. I I knew that going into it, so partially my fault, but I have liked some thrillers in the past. I've rated some thrillers 4 stars. This one I rated 3. I don't know if I said that, but I rated this one 3 stars. I mean, 3 stars is good. Like, it's middle of the road. It's not good, it's not bad. It's just there. It was pleasant, it was fast. I mean, I read this in probably an hour and a half. It was honestly reading so fast. Um, yeah, I listened to some of it on audio while I couldn't like read physically. Audiobook narrator was great. No complaints there. Pretty standard thriller. If you're a thriller person, you'll enjoy it. But I'm more of a horror person. I need things to be spooky, scary, unnatural. I've always been a fantasy reader. I need things to not be just like a man doing man things. That's I need there to be some sort of just like crazy, outlandish thing involved. So that book did not have that, but pretty decent. If you don't mind just the horror part of it all being a man, go ahead, read it. You're probably gonna like it, but I don't know. I rated it 3 stars. So that is 3 novels down and 1 novella. I was toying with the idea of moving on to some romantic-y stuff, but I think I am still in the horror mood. It is around 3:30ish, maybe closer to 4 o'clock at this point, and I did get a late start, so I still have about 6 hours left for my day, about 6.5 hours. So I think I'm gonna read Mayfly next, but I also have The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones on my Kindle, which I have read short stories from Stephen Graham Jones, and I didn't particularly love them, but I'm also just not a short story person, so it could very well be that I just don't like his short stories, but maybe I'll like his novel. So I think I'm gonna go with Mayfly first. I think that's gonna read really fast, and then I should be able to also finish the Stephen Graham Jones book, The Only Good Indians. So I will try and update you when I'm probably halfway through Mayfly. It is pretty short. It's like 250 pages, so maybe I won't, but I'll try. And I'll give you my updates when I have them, okay? Okay, if any of you have read Mayfly and you saw me, well, heard me talking about it throughout this video, and you were screaming at your screens, I get it now. I get it now because I got about 30 pages in. This is one of the worst books I've ever come across. This book sucks so bad. Like, this is basically just American Psycho fanfic. White woman fantasy. Like, I don't know how else to. It's so. I'm not like other girls. I'm not like other girls. I'm like crazy. Like, shut up. Genuinely, shut up. It's so bad. It's so bad. Within like the first 7 pages, I was like, I've got to be like a quarter of the way through this book. No, babe, 7 pages. 7 pages, dude. Not to mention the part where she basically got off from exposing a Karen online. What was that about? And why did you feel the need to put that in there? I I say there's no words, but there are many words that I have for this book. I am disturbed, to say the least. It was nominated for an award. It had won the Octavia E. Butler, whatever the hell award. I don't understand how that's possible. Quite honestly, some of the worst pieces of literature I've ever read. And I wish I could have that 30 minutes of my time back. Gosh, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful I did not buy this book. This book was on my Amazon wishlist for a while because I was like, oh, cool. Like, she's kind of crazy, blah, blah, blah. It won an award, and what should have been my red flag, um, what's his name? Grady Hendrix. His quote about it is on the cover of the book, which I have mixed feelings on Grady Hendrix. This should have probably been the sign to not read it. I can't even remember what he said about it, but he was like, it's amazing. It's just crazy. Genuinely, if you want to torture yourself, go ahead and buy this book. Full price while you're at it. It's criminal. The fact that Octavia E. Butler's name is tied to this book in any way, shape, or form, diabolical, dude. Abysmal. This book's genuinely what did I read? What was that? What was that? I'm not saying any words of substance here because I'm just so lost. Like, what? And then I went on Goodreads because I'm like, this book is written so pretentiously and so just, like, I can't tell if the author was trying to make it sound pretentious because of that's the character she's developing, or if the author herself is that pretentious. I went to the Goodreads page for it, of course, and I found some reviews that were hilarious, sum it up perfectly. Apparently there's something that goes on towards the end with Johnny Depp in it. Get out! Like, middle-aged white women who are obsessed with Johnny Depp and the Johnny Depp trial, everything like that. Get away from me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. It's so annoying. So, safe to say I'm not finishing this book. I tried. I was like, I want to finish it for the plot. I wanted to give it a review that really sums up my feelings on Goodreads, because that's always satisfying, is when I can just say whatever I want in the review, because this book deserved it. I think this is one step back for feminism, in my opinion. I think it was supposed to be some sort of feminist girl boss book, but really it was awful. It was awful. If you want to read some horror books written by women, I'll tell you to read like Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson, anything by T. Kingfisher. Elena Martinez has a good book about like crazy women, and it's done in a good way. So spare yourself the money. Don't buy this book. If you want to read it because I'm telling you it's so bad, it is on Kindle Unlimited. Read it there. Do not buy this book. You'll regret it. So, that's my thought on that. I hope I was able to edit this in a semi-coherent way because I was just rambling. But here we are. So, that is 30 minutes of my life that I will never get back. I don't think I've, like, if I rated it here for the video, I'm rating it here for the video, not on Goodreads, I would rate it 1 star. I would do 0 if I could. I haven't read anything this bad, I think, all year. I don't think I've had anything this bad all year. Like, some books, I DNF just because they're boring. But this book was just terrible. It was terrible in every way, shape, and form. So I would never, ever, ever recommend this book. It's a beautiful cover. That's also what drew me in. The cover is gorgeous. And I was like, okay, artwork, go off. No. No. Anyways, I am going to move on to a person that I hold a lot more respect for, and that's going to be Stephen Graham Jones. I'm going to read my first novel by him. So, after that, I don't think I have anything else. I don't think I have any other books that I have queued on my Kindle, so I think if I can't find another book on Kindle to read in this spooky vlog, I think I'm just gonna have to end the I think I'm just gonna have to end the video because I don't want to read just like one fantasy book. That would just put me off, I think. So I'm going to read The Only Good Indians, and then maybe find another horror book on Kindle Unlimited. I'll update you when I have some opinions. Hopefully not like the opinions I just shared, but yeah. Okay, you guys, I have had a day. I've had a time trying to find a book that's good. I did try Only Good Indians, could not get into it. Okay, could not get into it. The writing style is how he writes short stories as well. I just couldn't do it. It was, I don't know. There's something about it. Can't do it. Just, there was no kind of drive for me. I didn't feel connected. There was just no, like, sort of mysterious thing, or I don't know, like something that just, there was no hook. There was no hook for me personally to get into the story. And I looked on some reviews on Goodreads and stuff, and it's just, it didn't seem like it would get like scary enough or spooky, creepy enough for me to get into it. So I didn't do that. I stopped reading. Gave it about 30-40 pages, stopped reading. And then I was talking with my friend, and they recommended, well, they were talking about how they wanted to read this book, but they'd heard mixed reviews or something like that. So I was like, perfect, let me look. It was on Kindle Unlimited, so downloaded it, tried. It was something with the eyeballs. I'll put it on the screen. But that one I also tried and I couldn't get into it. It was a emotionally immature parent, and that's just not something that I was wanting to listen to. um, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was like, fine, I'll just go die in a hole. Like, you guys will be sad that you weren't nice to me when I was alive, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, I went on to Goodreads, and they said that basically 75% of the book was just that, is the mom being a bad mom, and the oldest child being a little bit weird. I don't know. So, safe to say, I did not read that one either. Again, 30-ish pages. Give it up. So I went on Amazon. At this point, I probably spent an hour and a half trying books, looking up books. I finally found Hidden Pictures. Can't remember the name of the author, but very popular horror book. I've heard about it a lot, but I also know nothing about it, so that was kind of, I didn't know what I was getting into. I really never read the back of books and anything, so that's like, it's nothing new for me. I usually go into books blind. So I'm about 25% of the way through. I'm actually able to read this one because there was just creepy little things, like, off the bat. Like, this father figure was being strange at first, then he turned nice, and then sometimes both of the, like, the mom will have like freakouts, and then it's it's this babysitter. We're following the perspective of this babysitter. Um, and basically, she has to solve this mystery about this kid's imaginary friend. That's kind of the whole thing. And I love that because there's illustrations in the book. I'm reading this on Kindle, but you can still see like the pictures. And it's like freaky. It's like a kid making drawings of their imaginary friend, and it's like like uh, like that kid needs to go to therapy or something. So obviously, like, I know where this is going. It's not hard to figure out, but I still want to. I'm interested in this book. I want to see where it goes. I'm concerned for the characters. I just hope they all make it out alive. Um, and I hope they put this kid in therapy. But like I said, I'm about 25% of the way through. I think I'm just going to. I'm taking my time. I'm taking my time because I'm exhausted and just I was frustrated because I couldn't find anything good to read. So here we are. I could have done with more planning for this video, but that's just how things go. This is my first time doing a 24-hour readathon. Things like this were bound to happen. So I'm a little disappointed in myself that I'm not reading as much as I had hoped, but it's more taxing than I thought it would be because, like, I can go all day doing nothing, but there's just something about it that it's just different. It's just different than I expected. So I think I'm just going to finish off this book, tell you what I think about it, and then we'll round off this video. That will bring me to 4 novels, 1 novella read. Not what I was expecting, but I think if I try to push myself to read any more, I will force myself into a slump. And that's exactly what I don't want to do because I was just there. So, I'm going to get to reading that book. I have like, what is it, 2 hours left, so I should be able to finish it. Yeah. Okay, you guys, I am finally done with the 24-hour readathon. Officially done. Technically, I still have 15 minutes left. I'm not doing that. Okay, so I just finished Hidden Pictures. First, let me give you a recap of my thoughts. I rated it 3 stars. It had a little bit of a twist to what I was expecting, but in general, my predictions did come true. The man was being creepy, the family was hiding stuff. Just not exactly how I expected those things to be played out, but still pretty accurate. So, in general, 3 stars. I thought the ending was very poorly done. I'm not a fan of big, like, epilogues where this is what happened after that, and this is what happened, and then this is, I'm telling you this. I generally just don't like epilogues, especially if they're more than 2 pages. I just put it in the story. And if you are doing like a jump ahead, make it quick, okay? Sorry. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or not. I'm just not a fan of epilogues. So when I got to the end of the book and it said, like, the epilogue or whatever, I was at 83%. I was like, 83%? And then I think the epilogue took me to 89%. So it was a big epilogue. Not my favorite thing. So overall, I would say it's worth it if you want to read that on Kindle Unlimited. I personally don't want a copy of it. That's not something that I feel is necessary. If you want a copy of it, definitely go ahead. Like, it's not a bad book by any means, but I don't know. I just don't feel I have no need for that to be sitting on my bookshelf, so I'll just say that. So, good, not bad, not great, just fine. So, that is the last book of the marathon. So, just to recap, we started off with The Violence by Delilah S. Dawson. I rated that 3 stars. Then I went to Gallows Hill, which was a surprising 5-star. Not expecting that. I definitely need to look into her backlog of stuff, see if she's releasing anything. Darcy Coates, is it? Yeah, Darcy Coates. I gotta look into her because I liked her style, I liked her characterization, everything. So that was a good find. I was really tired after doing all of this, and at points I was wondering if it was worth it, but I did find a new author. So we got that going for me. Next, we did What Stalks the Deep. As expected, it was a 5-star. It was too good. It was too good. I love Alex Easton. I mean, what more can I say? I love Angus. It's perfect. Anything that T. Kingfisher writes, I'm sat. I'm there. So, 5 stars for that. Next one I did was Room for Rent. Cannot remember the author. I need to write these things down. I wrote down the names and then the rating, but I should have wrote down the authors. Anyways, Room for Rent, I rated 3 stars. Overall, it was a decent story if that's what you're into. I personally just want things that are more paranormal, things that are supernatural. So when it was just men being the problem, like they always are, can't say it really piqued my interest. 3 stars for that. Again, not bad, not great, just good. If you want something like really quick, just like boom boom boom, sure, go read it. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I wouldn't say that you would regret reading it. So, last but not least, we did Hidden Pictures, which I just talked about. 3 stars. Could have been better, but I don't know if it's in the horror section, but it feels more thriller just with how the ending all plays out. It's more of a suspense novel, I would say, but I definitely see why it is classified as a horror, but just not as horror-y. I'm saying horror, I promise. Just not as horror-y as I wanted. Now, I could go a long time without saying that word, and I will be very happy. Anyways, it's safe to say I don't think I'm going to be reading horror for a while. I say that, but it's a lie. I have the novelization of Halloween 2018 that I will be reading. But that's basically just like watching the movie, and the movie's already fun. I love the Halloween franchise, so. Anyways, I think tomorrow I'm not going to read a single thing because I'm tired. But, anyways, enough of me rambling. I'm sure this video was already long enough. I'm going to, I don't know, leave you with that, I guess. Comment. Comment whatever you want, dude. Whatever you want, you can comment it. If you have any better recommendations for horror books, let me know. Clearly, I'm not the best at finding them. It's been a long 2 days. And do I regret this? A little bit. Yeah, it's taken a lot out of me, but live, laugh, love. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.